Alright, Snow Gang, what's up? How you all doing during this quarantine? It's a very strange time we're in right now, and you know what I'm doing right now? Editing vlogs. Because although I haven't been posting vlogs for the last 2 years, I've been vlogging and not doing anything with the footage, and that just can't fly any longer. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I was over the vlog shit. I was completely over it because it's just like, it's incredibly invasive. And I'm introverted. I like to be private about certain shit, but also like storytelling and entertainment, and that's the part of vlogs that I do like. What I don't like is exposing my life to a bunch of strangers and motherfuckers who could just type comments like, man, this vlog was alright. It's like, nigga, it's my life, okay? My life is alright? Fuck you, okay? I don't gotta do this. The intention of this vlog is to tell a story about growth and gratitude. It's not sketches and a bunch of goofy stuff. If you're looking for some of that, click off and go watch another video now, because this is for people who want to laugh and learn.
If you a nigga that don't like to take bubble baths, you a nigga I don't like to trust.
It's really like only one of us running from the cops.
Alright, so let's rewind the clock back till September 2018, right? So I flew to New York in July to spend the summer to fall out there about 3 months to do stand-up comedy. New York taught me a great deal about fear and how to conquer your fear while it's all the way over there, but the shit ends up right here in your face, okay? My biggest fear in New York while doing stand-up was being heckled. The first 2.5 months I did stand up in New York, I didn't get heckled. Until now, Deshaun and I had been in New York grinding for about 2 or 3 months doing shows, mics, and whatever, and we booked a headlining night at Caroline's on Broadway, which is the same club that's world famous and all the comics go to the Breakfast Club to promote their shows on. We got to perform there. I was excited, like really excited.
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh shit! We in Times Square, baby! We in Times Square with it, baby! Hey! Look at that, nigga! Oh! Oh, yo, we lit! I'm like, he tripping! Yo, we lit!
So unfortunately, the day before the show, I ended up having a full-on sickle cell crisis in my hip. It was crazy pain.
It's show day, and my hip is killing me, yo.
The days leading up to the show, I was doing a lot. I was overexerting myself. I was ripping and running in the rain, as you can see. I was drinking.
Being young, black, successful.
Start the hoes in the cheers? To the hoes? Alright, to the hoes. Keep holding, y'all keep us going. Thank you.
So I ended up having to perform while in pain. Now, my pain was, in my mind at the time, the least of my problems, you know, because I could deal with the pain or just dope myself up and try to, you know, sail through it or whatnot, which is stupid. But anyway, it was the least of my problems at the time. The biggest concern of mine was being heckled. And again, for 2 months while I was in New York, I had not been heckled until this show. Not only did I get heckled at this show, I got heckled by several people. And who are those people? My own family.
Captain! Captain! Captain!
A few of my uncles and aunties flew all the way from LA to New York to see me perform at Caroline's, and they had never been to New York before, so they came to turn up. And they turned up. They didn't just heckle me, they heckled every single comic that walked onto that stage that night. And they heckled Teddy Ray. He was the host.
Auntie! You know, it's not finna keep yelling at these comments. Yeah. Okay. This is obviously JSnowPro family because they all racist. Because they all racist and they about to pull a pistol out on me if I don't hurry up and bring their grandson, nephew up. I'm trying to bring them up. I'm sorry. It's comedy I'm bringing to the stage. Funny as fuck. Start clapping right now for my boy, Mr. JSnowPro!
As I start walking to the stage, my mom loses her goddamn mind and starts wooing.
All right. Y'all trying to get a nigga stabbed after the show. God damn, we talked about this. No, see, you still not listening, man. Come on.
Oh my God, and my uncle, bro, like my uncle was lit too. He stood next to the cameraman and started to have a conversation with the cameraman while the cameraman was recording me.
All the bald niggas got a press. And the fat niggas got a second. Fuck. This shit was cold, bro.
Why is this a problem? Because the mic was sitting on top of the camera. So instead of hearing my material, you hear me plus my uncle talking about me.
I'm just saying, you can't let a nigga who came up with Capri Suns talk to you, please. What that look like?
The people who worked at the comedy club was just standing around looking at this fiasco take place.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this.
Now, while I was on stage and this was happening, I just wanted to roast them and shut them down, but they're my family. So all I could think about was very personal shit. Aha, that's why you got diabetes. That's why she left and took the kids. That wouldn't have been cool. And I was so mad, like I was so mad. But it was just so funny to everybody, which made it worse.
And I'm the youngest person in my family, so everybody above me felt like it was their job to protect me from the streets in their own little way, right? But they weren't always good at that job, you know? Like my oldest brother, for example, my oldest brother was a drug dealer, right? So, you know, nigga, we are taping this. I don't want to kick out my own family. Relax. Let me get it out.
You know how hard it is to come up with 45 minutes of material? To get a show at Caroline's for 45 minutes set is not easy. To be able to tape it is really not easy because a lot of these comedy clubs don't let you tape your set. So for that to happen, once I got the thing at Caroline's on Times Square, it was like, yo, I was hot, bro. New York taught me a lot about conquering your fear and conquering it fast. Conquer hecklers even faster, even if it's your mom. So right after New York, I hopped on a plane and flew to Michigan to be a groomsman in my best friend's wedding. Yeah! Now, right after Michigan, I flew home to LA for about a week.
What about you, Curtis? What you gonna do on your lunch break?
I'm gonna go real solo. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna divorce my wife.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Man, she was a good woman.
Hate her.
Okay. All right then.
Then got on a plane and flew out to Miami to work on the 2018 BET Hip Hop Awards. Miami taught me that sometimes I just need to sit my ass down because I'm different.
If you a nigga that don't like to take bubble baths, you a nigga I don't like to trust. That's how I'm doing in 2018 in the penthouse suite with the bubble baths, Tony Montana style.
Manny, look at this pelican fly. Come on, pelican.
Fly, pelican, fly.
The reason I said I need to sit my ass down sometimes is because as soon as I got to Miami, I had a sickle cell crisis again.
Alright, so clearly I can't party like Tony Montana. I didn't even sniff any cocaine and I'm still in the hospital.
We don't have enough time for me to explain sickle cell to you, so I would just encourage you to Google some information about sickle cell so you can realize why flights, no sleep, dehydration, and overexertion are bad things for people with sickle cell. But I've been pushing myself a lot, and this was, you know, when that happens, I end up in the hospital. Anyway, I weathered the storm in Miami for as long as I could, got the work done, Flew back to LA to a sickle cell clinic where my doctor was, who knows all about sickle cell, and they could treat me properly because Miami hospitals couldn't really treat me properly. And so my doctor had asked me, you know, what I had been up to become so dehydrated and end up in the hospital in Miami and in LA. And then I told him, I was like, I had just left New York, then I went to Michigan, then back to LA, then to Miami, now I'm back here. And he was like, wow, you've been doing a lot. Man, I hope you're gonna chill and relax for the next few days, right? Like you're not gonna do anything moving forward, right? And I was like, actually, tomorrow I'm flying to Indonesia. I bullshit you not, my doctor laughed in my face. Vocally, out loud, ha! I mean, he laughed because, quite frankly, what I was doing was very stupid. I was having a sickle cell crisis. My blood was not in good shape. I was dehydrated, and I needed time to rest and recover. But the next day, I had planned a 23-hour flight to Indonesia. It's not 23 straight. It's 13 hours to Taiwan, 3-hour layover, and then 5 hours to Bali. You're not supposed to do that when you just left the hospital, but I did it. I severely underestimated a 13-hour flight and what it feels like. You know, I took a 10-hour flight to London before. That was the longest flight I ever took, and it wasn't that bad, but 13 hours? Woo! And 13 hours while you in pain? Woo-hoo! I'm gonna tell you why I did it. Because one, I spent the money already, not getting that back. Two, I gotta feel alive even if it kills me. And I know that's a Drake line, but still, like, sickle cell has altered my life so many ways. And in my adult life, I refuse to let sickle cell burden me to the point to where I just don't enjoy it. So sometimes I'll roll the dice. I had been planning to take a trip out the country while I was in New York, and I didn't know where I wanted to go, but the girl I was dating at the time suggested that we go to Bali, so Bali it was.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
No.
Oh shit! Woo! Shit!
Ooh. But can you get a photo of me though?
How?
For the gram. I got to make it fabulous. Maybe on that one.
This is what Instagram is doing to people, okay? It's putting us in dangerous situations that are foolish for a picture.
But I was made for this.
We went to Bali for 3 weeks. The first week, I stayed in the Airbnb and just recovered. And luckily, you know, Bali had a lot of natural foods and stuff that made me feel better, so I was good after a week. Food was great, the adventures were fun. Oh, wait. It said, do not run when they approach you. Keep calm and don't scream. Avoid shouting as it may frighten them. Don't look them in the eye. Look at the little mohawks. Don't hide any food. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
I definitely wouldn't do that.
You know, pick up the man's food. What is white? What is people? What is don't? What is listen? What is white people don't listen? I even ran into an old friend in Bali. Supposed to be meditating, Russell.
See about the back?
Yeah.
Yo, my man said, God damn, nigga, your fire just hurt my eye. Look at your pants, dude.
Whatever. These my Kill Bill pants.
Okay, so Bali is a magical place, and the girl that I went with was a magical person as well. She was very sweet. I literally fell for this girl in Bali. allow me to show you what I mean.
Are you afraid of water, Snow?
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's cold too. Nah, I got him. Oh shit. Okay, wait, no. Go back. Go back. It's too slippery.
That looked like it hurt. That looked like it hurt so bad.
It's too slippery. Snow down.
No, okay. I think we should go. No, okay. I think we should go.
2018 was an amazing year. It taught me so much. I'm incredibly grateful for 2018 and the lessons that I learned, the people that I met, the moments that I got to share with people and experiences and traveling. Now, if this was 2018, I would say, oh, I'm excited for 2019 and what's to come, but I already know what happened in 2019. This happened in 2019. So I guess what I should say is tune in for the next vlog. All right, Snow Gang.
Boy, you crazy fool, you.